blessing to be here tonight. I see on the board we had about 4 or 5 more we had last Sunday. That was good. Encouraging. And I think I might have got 5 more. And I told him, I know where I said, well, we may need to do that today. I said, we probably have less today than we had last Sunday, but we had more. So that shows that man don't know everything. The Lord knows it all tonight. If you have your Bibles in Exodus chapter number 20, I will read a couple of verses that you heard, and then we're going to use a little of the old Bible, a little bit of the new Bible for the message tonight. And I want you to notice in Exodus chapter 20, and I might read 3 verses, just short. And the Bible said, and God spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Now, if you notice, it's a little g, and it's got an S on the end of it. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. That's what God had told them from Mount Sinai. The Israelites, after they had come out from the Egyptian bondage there, God had let them out there. Moses said, tell them, you neighbor, and come on up on the mountain, and said, the rest of them can stay down there. Said, don't touch it. And God spoke to them from Mount Sinai and told them that he was the Lord. And he said, I want you to have. And what he said, I want to be first in your life. Now, I preach a lot about that. About putting God first in your life. Maybe one of these days I'll get caught up with it and quit preaching so much on being first in your life. But I will use that tonight. God said, I don't want you to be other gods between me. I want to be number one. And so I will use our title tonight. We should give him first place because he deserves that tonight. We should give him first place in our lives tonight. You think of that. And as we go in there, we're going to go to Matthew chapter 6. And for the rest of the message, chapter 6 and on maybe 19 a little bit, we'll get down to it. But anyhow, I want you to think about tonight, we need to teach our children to think about God. Now, you know, a lot of kids never hear about God unless it's God's name in the wrong way. And they hear that lots of times, and they don't need to hear that, but they need to hear it in a good way tonight. The good things of God. And we need to teach them these things. And we teach them everything else. We teach them to brush their teeth. We teach them to have good morals and to learn in school and to go to work and all them things. But we need to teach them to put God first in their lives. Love everything. Now, I'm going to use something that's not in the Bible tonight in the message I use at the close of it, and for an illustration and experience about a man that done well in St. Louis, Missouri, a shoemaker. I will use that tonight at the end of the service tonight, but I want you to think about it. And the reason that I'm going to use that is because that's what this man done. He put God first. I mean, he put God before his family, before his shoes or anything. He put God first. But then a preacher talked to him and asked him about it and how that he wanted to know the secret of his life and how he was doing so good. And so he carried him back to his office. I'll just get it out of the way and get home. He carried him back to the office and pointed a sign in it, and it said, God first, family second, and shoes third. You see where the work was? It was at the back of it. God had first place in this shoeman's life. That's the reason he was blessed so, that he put God first, ahead of his family. Then he put his family ahead of his work. The shoes are the last thing on the list of that sign in his office, and he said that's where the secret's at, is right there. So tonight we need to teach our kids, and not only do we need to teach them, but we need to be an example in front of them tonight. And let God be first in our life. I believe our kids will know where that God's first in our life. I believe all three of mine. I knew that I put God first in my life. And sometimes I put the Lord before they did my family. They felt like they was orphans. Sometimes when I first started preaching, and my wife thought she was a widow woman, because I never at home, I was going somewhere. I'd come in from work and sometimes not even eat supper. And some of the boys would call and say, we know where our service is at tonight. Do you want to go? And I was ready. I was hungry to go and to grow in God and put God first in my life and to leave the Lord bless so. I remember my friend years ago when my sister alive, she told my mom and daddy, said, the whereabout Howard said he got plenty. She thought I had plenty because I was happy. She thought I had plenty of money because I was happy in the Lord. I was rich, but it was rich of heaven's treasures. You know the young people today, they're looking how to make a career today. You think about it. They're planning, you ask them when they get out of school, what do you plan on doing? And they've got plans, my friend, for the future. They plan on making money. And I know that it takes money, as I read Brother Stanley say last night, that money is dangerous if people don't use it the right way. You know the average person today, they don't use how God blesses them right, they use it for self. Let me tell you, if God blesses you to do good and you use it for yourself, you're going to die the poorest man in the world. But if you use it for Christ, you'll have treasures in heaven. You think about that. I'd hate to live in this world, and when I leave this world, not be missed by nobody. And a lot of people is going to live and die, never be missed. A few days, they'll forget about you ever existed. But I'm telling you, if you do something for God, my friend, they'll live on. There's a man one time, I said he visited a famous preacher's pulpit way up yonder up north somewhere. And boy said he left something behind. My friend, he had schools named after him, institutions named after him. And while he was living with God in heaven, people were still enjoying his life here. They were still remembering him. So it pays tonight, put God first in our life tonight. And we'll put God first. He'll bless us. Now the Bible said here, let me just kind of hit this very briefly here. And the Bible said don't lay up treasures on earth. A lot of folks has laid up treasures here, and they're going to leave them behind. Somebody else will enjoy them. Not lay up your treasures upon this earth. That's what he said in the 19th verse of 6th chapter. If you want to turn a look with us. He said the moth, the rust, and corrupting thieves will break through and steal. He said that lay up your treasures in heaven. Oh, tonight, listen. He said, the moth and the rust of thieves, I won't get it fire. If you lay your treasures in heaven, he said, because where your treasures is, there will your heart be also. We need to lay up our treasures in heaven, where it live on and on and on. This old world one day is going to pass away with a big smoke, and everything that's left here is going to be gone too. If you leave a treasure here, friend, it's going to be gone. It's going to melt away one day. But if you lay treasure up yonder in heaven, they'll be waiting on you when you get there. It might not always be, with money that you can lay up treasures in heaven. Oh, tonight, listen. There's a lot of ways you can lay up treasures in heaven. And sometimes it's being good to somebody. Being nice to somebody. Oh, God sees it in secret, but said he'll reward you openly tonight. You know, a lot of people think they're going to lay up treasures by having long, good speeches and long prayers and all that. But the Bible teaches us, that them long speeches every time and them prayers to be said to be heard of people. They may not be laying up treasures for you because the Father knows, the attitude of our heart tonight. So we need to lay up treasures in heaven that'll last. And be waiting on us when we get there. While this man was enjoying his treasures in heaven, people was enjoying what he had left behind. He left something behind. People remember him. He didn't just live and die and never be missed. Folks knew he passed through because he done some things for God. Oh, tonight, listen, I want you to know tonight, friend, we need to lay them treasures up in heaven. I thought about, wouldn't it be wonderful tonight if we had put God first in our social life? us that we wouldn't want to take the Lord in. I know this might not be a popular message tonight, but you sleep good on it. Amen. I'm telling you, you won't have to worry about propping it up. It'll stand on its own. I mean, you know, if we are a child of God, there's some places that we ought not to want nobody to know we went in. Amen. There's places in this old world today that we ought not to want nobody to see us go in. Might hurt our influence. That won't be putting no treasure in heaven, would it? Oh, tonight, listen. If we had him in our social life, we won't want to take him in just anywhere. You know, I hear people, you know, the old-time preachers, they used to identify a lot of stuff, and they've about quit doing that now. But I hear people make the statement that when they went to the shows, you know, I mean, it's nothing now for people, they don't fit in the back no more, because they got one in the living room. Sometimes people got one in the bedroom. Then some people got one in every room. And so they have to worry about going to the theater. They got stuff in the home that sometimes is not fit for the kids to see. Somebody said, preacher, you can let that and go on by. I'm telling you tonight, me and you're responsible. We was responsible when I raised my kids. Let me just tell you this tonight. Usually you think I'm crazy, and that's all right. A lot of people believe it anyhow. I want to tell you tonight, when I raised my kids, one I got a pretty good sized girl, she said, Daddy, I can order this year off the TV and they'll send me a Bible, won't charge me nothing. And I said, well, order it. And that's when I was over at Meriden, and of course I had time to study them. And I'd carry them up there to the study, and I'd look through that stuff. And you know, you'd be surprised, folks, how many Bibles that's out on the market today has got cussing in it. And I went out there between where one that used to live, where Margaret and him used to live, about halfway we had a little burn pile out there. Still got one down the field. But this one's on the upper side of the road. It's probably been in the yard, probably, about where we had it. And she'd got one, we'd got one from Bob Harrington. You know, he's the chaplain of Bourbon Street and had a good name back yonder, but he'd had bad talk in it too. And I wanted to let her read it. She was nearly, probably pretty close to a teenager then. And I said, hon, that's not fitting for you to read. And I carried them out there and tore them out page at a time and burned them. And one of them said it was the Bible. If I had one in my home tonight, I'd kick it out and burn it. If it had cussing in it. You think about it. And I can tell you where it's at in there. If you wanted me to, I can point you right where it's at, the very words. Now the King James is telling what it is, but it don't use cuss words. You think about it tonight. Oh, tonight, we need to guard tonight.